Street Health is claiming that they are not behind the move to get Gaetan out of the neighborhood. They are saying that Neighborhood Link, his employer, is the one behind. But people who work in this community know that Street Health is in on every decision that happens with the ID project. And it's no coincidence that Gaetan was asked to leave, to move to Scarborough 4 days after him and the other paid staff signed on a letter in support of unionization by QP 1308 in this workplace. It is no coincidence. I don't know how many of you know, but Neighborhood Link is now claiming that the ID project will go on as usual and that only the paperwork will be done out of Scarborough. That's the new claim that's going on. Well, if the project's going on like it has before, why does this so-called paperwork have to move? Why does Gaetan's workplace need to move to Scarborough, far from the community that he has worked in, loved, and served for over 20 years? If the project's going on like before, why do they need to get it out? And why is Street Health so scared of unionization that they're moving out of supporter of the union? Because that's what this comes down to. Well, we are here today to say two things. One, we are here to say that the union will go ahead at this workplace, that there is no need to resist the union because the union will come. We're also here today to say that Gaetan will not leave, that yours will be one in many of a long list of failed attempts to get this organizer out of the community that he has been organizing, to take him away from his community, to try and stop the building that goes on in this community every day through Gaetan's work. You will be one more in a list of failed attempts. We are here today to say that we will make sure you are one more in a list of failed attempts. Justice for Gaetan. He will not be moved. But you will fail at moving Gaetan out of this neighborhood. You will fail like many agencies before you.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. My name is David Kidd. I'm with QP 79, that's City Toronto Inside Workers. We are the ones on strike last summer. I'm also wearing a Street Health sweatshirt. I'm one of the founding members of the Setting Up Street Health. And what it says on this sweatshirt is community-run health services. That's why Street Health was set up. As Kathy said, a number of us met in the Friendship Center. It took us years to set this up. The idea of Street Health was health services for homeless people where homeless people are. Not in some building, not in some other location, but where they are. And one of the best things we ever did in Street Health was to hire Gaetan Heroux. That gave Street Health instant street cred and credibility among those trying to deal with the issues of homelessness and those trying to deal with the health issues of the homeless. Gaetan has worked tirelessly, as you know, 24/7, 365 days for the people on the street. He has always been there for people. And there's been an issue for years about where do the homeless people come from. I know that a lot of them do come from Scarborough, but when they become homeless, where do they end up? They end up in the downtown core. And they're in the shelters, they're on the streets, they're in this location. And to move an administration office to deal with the issues of the people of the street is heartless, and it basically isn't addressing the community need. Gaetan needs to be working in this community to serve the homeless people's needs, and as such, Street Health should change the decision and move them back here. They also should stop the board's obstruction to the unionization of Street Health workers. As QP, the best way to solve this solution is to have a union environment. That's basically what the workers need to basically stand up for their entitlements and to deal with the staff morale issue. I don't know how Street Health can hold its head high, even apply for any other grants, if they don't allow unionization to take place. So lastly, I just want to say I feel proud to have known Gaetan for almost actually more than most other people here. I've known him for about 30 years. And I've known that Gaetan is always there for people, and it's a very little bit to come here today for Gaetan Heroux. Thanks very much. Jason, justice for Gaetan.
I really don't need this, but I'll use it anyhow. Gaetan has helped this neighborhood, this community, the city of Toronto. How many protests have we been out there and out of the cold, freezing our knees off? And Gaetan's out there leading the troops. And who's the first one that gets arrested? Gaetan. And why? Because he's sticking up for poverty and the homeless people and the people that are on the streets to try to get them off the streets. That's our Gaetan. That's the way we'll always remember Gaetan. But I still feel that something's wrong here. They shouldn't move him out of the neighborhood. Because this is Gaetan's neighborhood. Sometimes I walk down at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's Gaetan going by, passing out food, socks, to the homeless people. That's what he's all about. That's Gaetan. Okay.
Oh, look at the media's present. Hi, my name is Brian Boyd. I've known Gaetan for about 20 years. First of all, he's been a great friend, a great mentor, a great community leader up here. You know, we can't afford to lose Gaetan out of this community because we're losing a war already, but like that'll be like the final nail in our coffin if we lose Gaetan today. And I hope he stays on and we can keep fighting this for a little while at least. Like you say too, what can you say about the guy? He's been a mentor, he's been a leader of this community, he's gone to jail for a lot of us. And you know, he runs into you on the street, he'll do your ID right in the middle of the street with you. If you need a bus token to get somewhere, he's always there with a bus token for you. You know, he's moral support all the time for everyone. And I mean, he's always finds time for people. So we should try to find some more time for him too. This is a battle that's going on with the union here too, and I mean, you got very demoralized staff here now, and I think they're demoralized on the management side too, because this has been a war of attrition the past year with these people. And I mean, I don't know where it's going to end there either, but it's just another attack on homeless people. And hopefully they're going to get resolved on this, because this is getting ridiculous. It's been going on for a year trying to certify the union here. And I mean, all people want is fair working conditions and a fair wage. And then they can help other people. And they have a great staff here. We've had a huge number of turnover in staff here too. Like, I mean, we've gone through like 8 nurses in the last 3 years. We've gone through so many other workers in and out the door of late. It isn't funny. And I mean, that's coming from management. You know, you're not having all these people exodus this place because it's such a great place to work anymore. I think it's working conditions have gotten a lot worse for them here. And the stress levels on both sides, I think, are getting to a point that it's going to boil over. That's all.
Unions make workplaces stronger. This management has to accept that the union is here and that they're going to have to deal with the union on a fair and equitable basis. Trying to kick people out when there's unionizing going on is not going to make the workplace a better place or a more efficient place. And I think, Kathy, were you going to say a couple words?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kathy Crow. You know what? I am so proud to say that I was once a street health nurse. It's actually, Gaetan Heroux was the first nurse hired here when they got their funding, and I was the second. And it was in that church right there I learned to become a street nurse. It's why I still care so much about this organization. And I'm shocked, you know. I've been filled in over the years by friends that are staff, friends that were staff that had to leave this organization for a lot of reasons. There are a lot of people off on mental health, medical issues right now. Something like 35 staff have left in the last number of years. There's something wrong with that picture when a popular community organization has that kind of happen. In the last few years in particular, we've seen fewer and fewer staff allowed to do advocacy and work on the recession, on the depression, on hunger issues. And that's a big, big problem. So there's a long history of union busting. I know you've been hearing about it. We have to keep this organization. And number one emergency issue this week is we have to keep Gaetan at this corner. Thank you.